Hi everyone, and welcome to this introduction to for loops in Java. Believe it or not, today we're going to make a cheese sandwich. In fact, I already have my cheese sandwich code here. First, I'm going to get a piece of bread. Then, I'm going to put some cheese on it. Next, I'm going to put the other slice of bread on top. Then, I'm going to take a short break because making cheese sandwiches is very tiring. And when I've finished all that, I'm just going to pat myself on the back and say congratulations. Now, when I run this code, of course, here we have the final result. I have my cheese sandwich and my pat on the back. Now, this is all well and good, but what if we have to make 5 cheese sandwiches? Well, one solution to that problem is to copy and paste our cheese sandwich code 4 more times. And then we'll have 5 cheese sandwiches. Brilliant. But what if we have to make 100 cheese sandwiches? It would be a little bit impractical to copy and paste this block of code 99 times. Especially when we're doing exactly the same thing again and again and again. Fortunately, in computer programming languages, we have the concept of loops. And today we're going to look at the for loop. So let's look at how to construct a for loop. First of all, we need a control variable, which is usually an integer. And that control variable needs a starter value. We then need to include a Boolean expression, which the for loop will use to decide if it can continue or if it has to stop. And we'll look at how that works in a moment. We then need to tell the for loop how to increment. And I'm going to say to my for loop, please increment in steps of 1. So this is the basic syntax of my for loop. I have a control variable and I assign it a starter value. I then have a Boolean expression which allows the for loop to check if it can continue looping or not. And then I need to tell the for loop how to increment. And then we have an area here for our for loop code. It starts here and it finishes here. So let's do write for loop code here. And actually, the for loop code for my cheese sandwich are these 4 lines here. Just going to cut those away and put them into my for loop. Brilliant. Outside the for loop, I'm going to have my congratulations message. That only happens after I've finished making all the cheese sandwiches. Now, to help us trace what's going on, I'm just going to put in another system.out.print. And all I'm going to do is display the value of I, which is our control variable. So let's run this and see what happens. Well, when I was 0, we made a sandwich. When I was 1, we made a sandwich. When I was 2, we made a sandwich. When I was 3, we made a sandwich. When I was 4, we made a sandwich. And then we didn't make any more sandwiches. We got this congratulations method. The for loop stopped. Let's look at why that is. Well, when I is 0, this was the starter value. And 0 is less than 5. So yes, we will make a sandwich. We then incremented I by a value of 1. So I now becomes 1. Is 1 less than 5? Yes, it is. So we make another sandwich. And so on. Until I became 4. Is 4 less than 5? Yes, it is. So we made that sandwich. Then we incremented I. I becomes 5. Is 5 less than 5? No. So this time, Java does not make the sandwich. Nope. Java jumps to the end of the for loop and then continues the computer program. 5 is not less than 5, this is false, don't do any of this, jump to the end, and then continue the program. And that is how a for loop works.